to me, it felt like home because that's how I was always making music with my friends. Like we're just in there jamming. And then I'm, picking my head up and realizing who I'm jamming with. And I'm like, oh, this is crazy.
The One More Time Music Podcast. Genuine conversations with genuine people about music. Hosted by Henry with a 3 and Playback Ben.
We're from Beamer Coops to Pencils. Don't want this to end, so part that one more time. Part that one more time. Part that shit like one more time. They part that one more time.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for another episode of the One More Time Podcast. It's Thursday, your favorite day of the week.
Everyone's favorite.
Here with your favorite host, I'm Playback Ben, here with my co-host.
Henry with a 3, a.k.a. The Trap, Jack Black.
Henry, who do we have in the hot seat today, my friend?
Welcoming in on episode number 37 of the One More Time Podcast, legendary bass player, multiple Grammy winner, it's Victor Wooten.
Yeah, he's the only one that's going to know how funny that is.
And that's why we said it.
That's fire.
He barely looks like him, but...
Barely.
That was more of
But it works.
Yeah.
It works.
Less of the actually looking like the guy for my roast, but we do this every episode.
Yeah, he approached me about this one, and I was
That's a compliment to me, personally. I take it.
He was like, yo, I might get on his good side with this one. I was like...
He's going to fuck
Fire.
with that.
In all
Victor Wooten,
seriousness,
we're out of here.
we have bass player, we got keys player, producer, songwriter,
engineer,
artist,
filmmaker,
hailing from
filmmaker.
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, but now we brought him to the light side here in Atlanta. We got Mr. Benji.
Benji.
Yeah.
Benji, how you feeling, man?
I feel good. I feel really good. I'm happy to be here.
We are happy to have you.
Very
man.
happy to have you.
I literally first met Benji when he was sitting on top of a school bus, rapping his ass off on the Happy Shoot.
Yep.
So to have you here on the One More Time podcast is an honor, man.
That's
Were you
almost
doing-
2 years ago.
Were you
I was
doing
a
playback?
PA.
He was
I
a
was
PA.
a PA. I didn't get the
Playback duties.
the playback
That's where he
duties.
gets his name.
No,
Damn.
I was even lower on the totem pole than the guy
He
doing
didn't even get
playback.
playback.
Shout out Chad Tenney's who was directing that. We've had Chad on the podcast.
Chad.
On the pod,
Word.
yeah.
Word.
We had Chad on the pod.
Yeah, Chad's a good dude.
Yeah, he's
Chad's a real good
super
dude.
talented. Love everything Resolve's doing. But
Yeah.
Benji, appreciate you coming on, man. So
course.
spoke with a couple people that know you well. How important is family to you?
That's very important. I treat everybody, I try to treat everybody like family, especially my own family, my closest friends. Like it's just an operation of, a relationship that I enjoy. It works. It helps set up boundaries, you know what I mean? But also, you just treat everybody with respect and love and you get it right back. And if you don't, well, it's unfortunate that it does happen, but at the same time, it's just not for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I really love family. My family has been probably one of the main catalysts for all inspiration, all things that I've ever gotten into, sports, music. Like it was just right there. It was very supportive. And I wouldn't be here without it,
Well, yeah, so you mentioned music. What role did music play in the family?
I honestly could not see anyone in my family doing anything else, especially myself, because my parents are musicians. My mom is an amazing singer. All of my siblings are singers,
And that's how your parents met, right?
sorta, kinda. They met at CMU, Carnegie Mellon University in Pittsburgh.
So they're just dumb.
They're, you know what I mean? Like it's just
It's like an amazing school.
it's
Casually.
Casually.
Met at Carnegie Mellon.
The funny part,
It comes from brains.
Yeah.
they
Jeez.
they met like in on the lawn or something like that. Apparently the story is my dad just walked up to my mom with like a joint or something like that.
Fire.
And just said it was good, basically,
I heard it was so much more romantic. They met in the choir, but that's way cooler.
I mean,
way
they
funny.
when their relationship was going, and that's what they were doing. My dad was the keyboard player, and my mom was directing and singing and stuff.
Okay, cool.
But we can go back further and be like, no, my dad he had the juice.
Real za.
Yeah, my dad had the juice.
Yeah. I mean, everyone in your family really, they took music to be what it was for them, but that was a huge part of what kind of bonded you guys, right?
Huge. I mean, because we couldn't help but have music playing in the house. Everybody sings, so we wouldn't always just break out in a song or nothing like that.
Like the Von Trapp family.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like we wouldn't just break out all crazy, but we could recognize and understand music early. So
Yeah.
it was a language we spoke in the house.
Yeah.
And me, my brother, and my middle sister. I'm the youngest in my family, but I have 2 sisters and a brother. So the younger older sister that I have, the 3 of us are musicians. So when we studied or when we were playing, you know, we had that going in the house as well. And my older sister, she's a singer as well. So we were just around it. And then I played the drums first in the choirs where everybody was singing. My sister was the keys player in the choir, and I just always played around. And then at my church, I had the freedom to kind of just play whatever I wanted.
Is that because you were the pastor's kid?
Pretty much. Yep.
Got another pastor's
We've literally
kid.
had so many
3 or 4.
pastor's kids. I told Christo this. I was like, bro, you guys are pastor's kids too?
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on in this like music
we're
world?
double. Both of our parents are pastors, and not just one. So it's both of them.
Pure.
It's a 2 for 1.
Yeah.
It's a buy one, it's a BOGO. It's buy one, get one free. buy one
BOGO
pastor, get one free.
There you go. So I was just always around it, and I had the freedom. So one musician that we had to leave, and it happened to be the bass. And I was like, well, my dad bought me a bass when I was like 14 for Christmas, and I was always playing it around in the house, but I was never playing it out. And at this point, I'm like 22, I want to say. I'm 28 now. And I was like, well, I have a bass at home, so can I play? They were like, sure, whatever. And that's how I got stuck on the bass.
That was the requirement. Do you own a bass? Do you own
Pretty
a bass
much.
guitar?
Pretty much. But like that was kind of always my thing. Like I played flute in concert band growing up. And
so you were a flautist.
I was a flautist. I absolutely was. But I was just
That's
playing
a rare
stuff.
exclusive fact about Benji.
Only because it was the only thing left. I wanted the snares. And in order for me again,
everyone wanted the snares. Though.
Yeah, but I was late. They were already taken. The only thing I didn't want to play trumpet, and the only thing left was like the flute. And if I didn't pick the flute up, I would have to keep going to class. And I wanted to at least miss 1 class a day.
So you picked that flute up.
So I picked that.
Shout out the flute. So tell us about your relationship with, your brother Christo, who also is, in the music scene, super successful producer.
Yeah.
Had the chance to speak with him. Kind of what was your relationship like with him growing up?
He was like, when if you've ever played team sports and you got a particular date or opponent circled on your calendar, he was like that for me because he was really good at everything. And it pissed me off. So I was like...
sibling rivalry, totally.
But like in the most healthiest, loving ways possible. But me as little brother, I'm like, I'm going to be better than you at everything that you do too, because I got to prove myself. You know what I mean? Like, that's just classic little brother stuff.
Yeah.
But like, it never ever got to that point because of how we played on the same sports teams, went to the same schools. We played a couple of the same instruments. But like, we've done a lot of things together. We've never did it the same way. So it was almost impossible to even have that rivalry. It was like, he does this, I do this. He goes that way, I go this way. He is tall, I'm short. But, like, it was just, I know. It was always like,
sad story.
Sad story. And he also encouraged me to like, just do it your way.
Yeah.
As opposed to like trying to be like me. So he was great to just look up to, and we're 15 months apart.
Okay.
I want to say. So we're really close.
So close in age.
Yeah, really close in age. So I was right there watching him do all his stuff. And then when I figured that I wanted to do it, his guidance was always like, figure it out. But not to be like, leave me alone. But it's like, no, you can easily do this, but just figure it out your way because we're not the same. So that was a huge booster for me, realistically, to just be like my own artist, my own person, my own whatever, athlete, you know what I mean? I was the only one to go all the way to college to play sports. And that was just something that I really like to do.
That was so casual too. Like, tell us about your sports journey real quick.
Yeah, so I, in college, I ran track. It was one of those sports, again, I was just trying out. Because at first, me and my brother, we played soccer since we were kids.
Okay.
And we played in high school. And in high school, I was playing soccer, that was like my main sport. That's what I wanted to do. And I couldn't try out for the basketball team because my grades were pretty bad. And
soccer,
Yeah,
they're
school,
like, it's fine.
school was
Yeah.
not your thing,
school
right?
was not my thing. No, it was not.
He was not
School guy.
a scholar.
No, not by any stretch.
But his parents went to Carnegie Mellon.
Yeah,
Bro, I'm still
Missed
trying
that
to wrap my head around that one.
it's crazy.
Those genes did not go to him.
They did not. I didn't even open the door for them to let them in. It just wasn't happening. Spring season came around and track season came, and I was like, I could do this. This is what everybody does. They run track to get in shape for the sport that they
Yeah.
want to do. You know,
All
what I
the
mean?
football players at
all
my
the football
school.
players do it. All the basketball kids do it. Like,
Yeah.
it's never like the main thing you want to do until you realize you're good at it, and
Yeah.
that's what happened. So I thought I was a sprinter because I was like the fastest kid on the soccer team. I got dusted every race I got into.
Fast and track is a whole different beast.
I learned. Oh, I learned.
Yeah.
But then I could always jump higher than anybody.
Yeah.
And I was like 5'4" at the time, 5'5", dunking. Like,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
So I
Shit, I was
decided.
like 5'4", 5'5", barely getting 2 inches.
So
He
I
could touch the net.
I
I don't even know if I could.
so I tried the long jump.
Late bloomer over here.
So I tried long,
Long
jump.
jump.
Yeah. And my coach was like, okay, yeah, no more sprinting. You do
that.
this. Yeah, like you
Yeah.
do this. And I was like, okay, it's cool. It looked cool because my brother was doing it. And I'm like, you get to run and jump in a box full of sand? Like, that looks pretty dope.
Yeah.
So I asked my coach, can I go over here? And then he just tried me out after practice. Like, you got something here. Try this. No, try that. Then he had me try the triple jump. Did that like it was like I've always done it.
What is the triple jump?
The triple jump is, if you ever heard like the hop, skip, and jump, like you run, jump off one leg, land on the same leg, jump on the other leg, and then jump into the sand. So you
It's
just
like,
jump 3 times.
Duh.
Yeah.
Boom. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I did that, and he was like, yeah, no more sprinting.
Yeah.
And that became my event. That's how I got to college. I got a college scholarship to run track for long jump
Yeah.
and triple jump. So I get to college, and I win a couple conference championships in long jump. Still got the school record in both
Hell yeah.
the long jump and triple jump. I don't think
go.
anybody's touching it.
Let's
Hopefully.
go.
Shots fired at
Shots fired.
at Duquesne
Yeah.
track team.
Boom.
Step it up, Duquesne.
I went to regional championship right before nationals. I was ranked as high as 7th in the country at one point. And
Wow.
I had a shot, like I was like 12 centimeters away, just about to try out for the Olympic trials.
Yeah.
And
Damn.
I completely tore my hamstring. And that was the end of my sports career.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was I was like hearing, your brother describe the story. I was like, oh, this is so cool. Like, he's going to
like
make it to the
building.
It was
Yeah,
like
right?
a movie was
Hamstring.
playing in my head. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, fuck.
Hamstring.
You got
Yep.
injured.
And got hurt, and that was the end of that.
Damn.
And decided to leave school and pursue music full time. And that's how I
Yeah.
got
Hey,
here.
it worked out. Worked out fine.
So, like, what was the plan when you did that? You
Um,
know what I mean? Because it's a big decision.
were you trying to go to the Olympics and like do
No,
that?
I'm talking about when he dropped out for
yeah.
music.
Okay.
Like, what were you?
So yes, that was my original plan at
Yeah.
first, and then
that got squashed.
that got
by an
squashed.
injury. But so dropping out to pursue music, like, how were you planning to make ends meet? And were your parents pissed?
Yes, well, slightly, because they weren't particularly happy that school just wasn't my thing, but they knew that since like 2nd grade. Like they just knew
Yeah.
it, and they wouldn't like force it on me. And then they did the whole thing, like get your grades up or we're pulling you off the teams and stuff. Like they did that because they wanted me to, one, at least not get kicked out of school, but
Yeah.
2, like finish something, you know. And then I get a scholarship to go to Duquesne, like just finish, you know what I mean? But it was just nagging me. I wasn't going to class. I was learning how to make beats. I was learning how to engineer. I was writing songs.
So that was already starting while
while I was in college.
you're doing
Yeah.
track full time,
Full time, and
part-time.
Yeah, school very part-time. Like anybody at Duquesne, if they were there at the same time as me, they know that I would sit at the same spot, the same table, same cafeteria every day before practice, after practice. If I went to class, as soon as that class was, I was going to that same spot. Everybody saw me in the same spot.
They didn't sit there. They knew, like, okay.
Yeah, or they could. Like my homies would come sit down with me or whatever, and then they would go to class, and I would just stay there. You know what I mean?
Just cooking up.
Just cooking up. Just cooking up. And it was just, that's where I was. And then it's 3 o'clock, I gotta go to practice. And then I'll go to practice, and then Thursdays we travel for our track meets, and we're gone the whole weekend, so I won't see you till Monday.
Damn.
You know, so I was just doing that for 4 years.
Wow.
You know what I mean? All the while still like winning. And
So you almost finished. 4 years.
Yeah, almost. But by the time I was
Got
a
3
senior,
credits left.
I think I had like
9.
21 or something
wow.
like that. But so
Still.
I had to like, I think I was like a junior all over again academically.
Okay, but still.
So I was like,
Damn.
yeah, I ain't got the money to pay for that. So my scholarship was done. So
Yeah.
I was like,
Right.
well, I'm just go ahead and go. You know.
We'll buy NPC actually with that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So when I decided, I told my parents I just want to focus on music, I was expecting them to just argue with me and fight with me about it. And they were actually like, we saw this coming. All right, go ahead. Just have a plan. And at that time, the plan really is just pay your bills. So get a job. And I did a bunch of odd jobs, not odd jobs, but I did jobs. I was an overnight janitor. I served at a taco joint for a few years at our baseball stadium. I played in wedding bands. I played in cover bands. Anything, you know, that I could tolerate. Yeah. Anything that I could tolerate doing that would pay me. Paid for studio time if I had it, but then I bought my own equipment. So I was never really in the studio. I was just learning and buying more equipment with this stuff. And then I would get shows. And then, you know, after a while, like I started getting paid for these shows. And then it just, I don't know, stuff kind of just worked. It worked its way out. I would figure it out, but things just really just worked out for me.
Were you like stressing during these times or?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because you make it sound like, looking back on it, you're talking like it was like,
was nothing,
yeah, I
just
got
let it
this
happen.
job, I did this.
You know,
but like,
just kinda
but
happened.
living it was very much
living
like,
it sucked because like, you know, you feel something like deeply in your heart that you know you can do, that you want to do, that you're really good at if you figure it out, shift the right gears and stuff like that. You know, music is very subjective, but it's either good or it's not. You know what I mean?
Seems like a conflicting statement.
It's a very conflicting statement, but it's like your taste is your taste.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a market for everything. But it still has to be good or it isn't. And it only has to be good to somebody though. And trying to figure that out versus what you like versus what you're also capable of. I didn't know I could do this or I didn't know I could do that. And you're learning. So things are constantly shifting. Then you realize, you know, you got to perform this stuff. And then you got to like,
Yeah.
you know, and I'm a musician, so I wanted to perform with a band. I got to find really good musicians. I got to do this. There's all these things that I wanted to do. And then, you know, at the same time, I'm like, at the time, I thought I was having a child. So it's like, okay, now I have to get like a full-time job with benefits now, or I can't really pursue music because
Gotta buy diapers.
yeah, I gotta buy diapers or and prepare for that, you know. So it was very, very stressful. And at the time I'm 23.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like I don't really have all my bearings there. You know what I mean? And I'm not in the most comfortable position. And it just now that I really think about it, it sucked.
Yeah.
It really sucked.
But you're
No,
not
I
a
mean-
dad.
No, but I'm not a dad.
That worked out.
That worked out for sure. But you know, ultimately,
Well, yeah, he went on Mari. You are not the father.
no, not even. You know,
But so, like, what was the pit music scene like? Like,
So-
you know, paint us the picture of kind of like, you know, we're here in Atlanta. I'm not too familiar with like what the scene was like.
We
Wiz,
so Wiz, when I was in high school, Wiz was booming.
the guy.
He was the guy. You know what I mean?
But that's like not necessarily indicative of like what the rest of the scene was,
No,
was
because
looking like.
Pittsburgh has talent, and it's always had talent. But there's kind of always been this thing where, at least in rap, I can't speak for the other genres because there's a lot of successful, you know, producers from Pittsburgh. There's a lot of successful, country artists. You know what I mean?
Oh, really?
Wow.
Country.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
So Pittsburgh has been around in multiple spaces.
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
different spaces. I'll say it like that. But the scene itself, you know, at one time we had like a staple venue that you had to perform at. You know, if you were going to be anything, you had to it's called the Shadow Lounge. You had to go through the Shadow Lounge. That closed
It's
down.
like a rite of passage.
In a way,
Yeah.
yeah, because like that's where we went to see shows.
Yeah.
You know, that's where everybody performed.
Yeah.
Basically, when they came down for their Pittsburgh show or something like
Yeah.
that. So that closed down. Wiz goes on to be Wiz, and Mac's coming up.
Yep.
Mac goes on to be Mac, and then that's kind of it. With Pittsburgh and small cities, small market cities like that, it's kind of like, I talk with my homie about this a lot, like the sacrifice rule, basically. Like everyone's around and everyone can be talented. You know, multiple things can be true at the same time. But one goes, and then the rest who were around at that point in time kind of just
Oh, wow.
go out. You know what I mean?
Separates.
And
So did you see that happen a few times?
yeah, basically, because, you know, there was a lot of talented local rappers when Wiz was a local rapper. Wiz goes.
Yeah.
And, you know, he brings his people with him. There were a lot of talented rappers and artists when Mac was a local artist. Mac goes. Everybody else is kind of, you know, they don't see the same
Shine.
success.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, and then we had, you know, Jimmy Wapo, God rest his soul. He was killed on his way to, you know, his highs and his peaks. We've had artists go to jail. We've had artists get killed. You know, similar story everywhere, right?
Yeah.
So for us, when I was coming up, you know, there's a lot of talent. I think what we did that was very beneficial for the scene that I was in was that we were just throwing our own stuff. We really took a lot of pride in like basement jams. So we had shows in basements of houses. We had I got homies that owned art spaces, you know, and they would throw parties, they would throw events, they would throw shows, festivals. So you would get on, you know, by getting on one of these programs, basically, and being able to do your thing. Then this spot called Spirit, who's actually owned by the same person that owned Shadow Lounge back in the day. So there was a guy throwing events there. Which is actually how I met my DJ, Slim.
Shout out Slim.
Shout
Yeah.
out Slim.
Good people.
Because him and Christo used to DJ this party called Bounce.
Yeah.
And that's how I met him. And that's how me and him linked up as like an artist DJ duo.
I thought you met in a U-Haul.
So we met in a
Sounds like
U-Haul.
a great story.
Yeah.
We met
Sounded
in a
way
U-Haul.
funnier than meeting at a Bounce DJ.
Yeah. So
Let's
I was
get the real story.
we met in a van.
They were trapped in a U-Haul together for
We
45
met-
minutes.
They were trafficking cocaine.
Yeah, you know. We met in
Jesus,
me and
that took
Slim.
a weird turn.
Me
Just
and
helping a
Slim-
friend move.
Yeah, so DJ Femi, shout out DJ Femi. I went to middle school with her,
Yeah.
but like her and Slim, they went to high school together. Like
Yeah.
we have a bunch of mutual friends that we've known through different passages of time,
Yeah.
different lengths of time, and then we kind of all just like realized we all know each other, and then we
I love that.
decided to click up.
Yeah.
Like, wow, this is crazy. So Slim was driving the van. Femi was moving cribs. I got picked up in this van being driven by Slim. And we're bonding over helping her move because we're sitting in this van just talking about music. Like, man, like I want to throw like this big festival in a warehouse or something like that. Yo, I'm thinking about the same thing too. Like, it's pretty crazy. Like, I rap and sing and stuff. He was like, well, I rap, I produce, I DJ this and that. I'm like, oh, word. Who are you?
I thought that was so cool.
You know
I
what I'm
was like,
saying?
That's a great story.
Yeah.
And then we realized like we know a lot, like some of his best friends lived around the corner from me who were also my best friends growing up and my
Yeah.
brother's best friends growing up. And it's like, how, because they all went to high school together or something like that. And then my drummer, Jules, shout out Jules, same thing. Like we all just, it was really wild. The connection came from Femi because I went to middle school with her, but you know, we all just like started coming back around and like, oh, you know this person. Oh, I know that person. I went to middle school with that person. Went to middle school with them. They're your best friends. Oh, y'all went to high school. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. And then we just
links were already there. You just kind of reactivated them.
Yeah, we're just reactivating them, and then next thing you know, we're all best friends.
Yeah,
wow. You know what I'm
I thought that was so cool.
You inspired me to help more of my friends move.
Yeah, seriously.
I gotta get
of mine watching.
We're trying to get Slim. Trying to get Slim to move to Atlanta next.
Yep,
we'll help him.
Yeah, he's my next.
We'll meet everyone.
He's my next project.
So. You mentioned doing shows obviously in the city, but you also were doing shows out of town. I mean, you had people inquiring, to get you to come perform. Mm-hmm. Tell us about the Montana show.
Oh man, that was my very first out of town show.
It was the first one?
First one.
It's even more epic.
Oh my God. It was such an epic. I will never do it like this again.
Yeah.
Ever.
Is it epic in a bad way?
I mean,
honestly, kind of and in a great way.
It's like a beautifully bad
experience.
I'm looking forward to this one.
We had to get to Bozeman, Montana to do the show at Montana State University in 2 days. We couldn't get flights coordinated. Slim had to work and do a gig on a day where I think there's only 2 airlines that fly in and out of Bozeman or something like that.
Never heard of it.
But only 2 days out of the week or something. It was really crazy. This was 2017, 2018 maybe.
Yeah.
And so the only other option for us to get down there and not leave this money on the table basically is to rent a car and to drive across the country to Montana in now a day and a half. You know what I mean?
A day and a half.
It's a 27-hour drive.
Drive.
My God.
We have basically 2 days to get there. And
the clock starts as soon as he hangs up with the promoter.
We didn't. I don't even think we because for some reason, we're just notoriously late to everything. But we didn't even leave out of Pittsburgh.
That's why you played the flute.
Yeah, there you go. See? We didn't leave.
I can confirm he was late to the podcast, guys.
Yes.
He's not lying.
I'm not lying.
He's a latey.
Yeah, tis I. We didn't leave till 3:00 in the afternoon, and the clock was just ticking.
Was it just you and Slim?
It was me, Slim, and my guy Wesley.
Okay,
he was recording everything for us.
Is there footage of this?
Oh my God, yes, there
we
is.
Need it.
There's so much footage.
Okay, send that.
There's so much footage.
So you hop in the car. You pile in the car. Van, whatever.
It's me. We're in a Chevy Equinox.
Oh my God.
And I don't know if you haven't met Slim. I don't know if you've seen Slim. Slim is 6'3",
big dude,
6'4". Big dude.
Big guy.
Not Slim.
There's only, and that's the best part about his name. He's not Slim at all.
Oh, it's funny.
No disrespect, but
he's a heavier set gentleman.
Right. There's only one place. There's only 2 seats he can sit in the car. That's driver's seat, front seat. That's it. Yeah. You can't sit in the back at all. And now we had to bring all our own equipment, PA system, cables.
In an Equinox.
We got bags, suitcases and stuff.
Yeah.
DJ equipment, cables. We had everything in this car, and 3 people were packed for 27 hours. So we're driving, we're going, and it's cool. We're driving across the country. I do suggest that everybody takes a cross-country drive at least once in their life.
Yeah.
Just not for 2 days. Just don't do it in 2 days.
Yeah.
Take your time. And not rush. Yeah. Just take your time. But it's beautiful. So we get out there, and that's where I saw Tumbleweed for the first time.
That's cool.
It was crazy. We get
shout out Tumbleweed.
Right. We get into Montana. It's beautiful. The stars are out. The sun is setting. There's no streetlights, at all. So
even in the college town,
none.
Yeah.
As we're driving through these mountains, it's pitch black. It starts snowing.
Oh God.
It's getting crazy. Next thing you know, I'm the one driving at this point. Next thing you know, I noticed that my tire pressure is going low.
Oh God.
It was the back right one or something like that. And it's just leaking. And I'm putting gas in the GPS. Now, mind you, we're out in the mountains, really don't got no service or nothing like that. Ain't a gas station for miles. We're also running out of gas. So
this is
it's snowing.
Me anxiety.
It's pitch black. No street lights. Tire leaking. No gas.
And you got to get there.
And we got to get there. We're still an hour, 2 hours out, mind you.
Is the show coming up
the next day?
Okay, so it's the next day. But
it's the next day.
I thought set time was in 3 hours.
Yeah. No, it's the next day. Still. But we long story short, we make it. We find a gas station. We put gas, but we get there. with, very low, damn near deflated tire. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy. So we get there. The show was cool. Now we got to drive back. We get the tire patched up at a Walmart for like $10. It was actually pretty crazy, but it was this gigantic, thick construction nail that I ran over at some point.
Oh, God.
That punctured our tire.
Yo, but you guys spent like a lot of your money to get to this show, right?
All of it.
Yeah, like don't forget the most epic part of this is he's like, I got to get the bag, so I'm dropping whatever I got to on gas to go make my money.
All of it.
27 hours away.
All of it.
Yeah.
And there was a specific bank that we had to cast a check at or something like that, or like deposit it or whatever, because we needed the money to get back, because we had a show in West Virginia 2 days after that.
Oh my gosh.
So
who did your routing, bro?
Terrible. We were just following DPS at that point.
So bad.
You know what I'm saying? It was so bad. And even as we're leaving, I get pulled over twice, like within 5 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, in like South Dakota. It was stupid. This cop in like a Tokyo drift through the grassy median just to pull me over on the opposite side. It was pretty impressive. I'm not gonna lie, it was very impressive. But it was
the median, he was going.
No, oh my God, he was going for it. But it was a good time. Montana was a good time.
That sounded so epic. I was like, dude. And I didn't know that you had to get to West Virginia next.
Yeah, we had a show. Those are my very first 2 out of town shows.
Those are the 2 most bumfuck shows you could ever do. So shout out since the 80s.
Yeah, home team.
Shout out.
How did that relationship, come about?
So me and Zeke went to high school together.
Out Zeke.
I remember I had a show at Spirit, and one of my bigger songs, Mimosa, was playing. I performed it. Actually, no, I didn't have a show. It was just a party. And I think it was DJ Femi who played the song. She played Mimosa. Whole place is going crazy. They stop it. RB, he stops the whole party. He's like, he calls me out of the crowd and he's like, no, you got to perform this song right now. Everybody's going crazy. So I get up there. I start performing the song. Everyone's going nuts. Zeke, I didn't even know he was there. Zeke is to my right as I'm on the stage. He just pops up. He's going crazy. After I do the performance or whatever, he tells me, that they got this joint venture or whatever. They got this label and stuff. So I'm like, what's up? He's like, what's up? 2 years later, they call and sign me. And I'm like, word. It was cool. But so it was like
Did you always know you were going to get a deal?
No.
So
I wanted to.
Okay, so you were like chasing a record deal.
Yeah,
because
I thought that was
you
the
just
thing.
think that's what you do.
Yeah.
You're an
so
artist.
I was.
You get signed.
Yeah.
Right?
I had confidence that I would get something.
Okay, cool.
You know what I mean? But like,
still felt like.
Yeah, when he said that, I at least saw something that was tangible for myself, or at least in a way reachable and achievable.
Yeah.
And because my brother has been JID's DJ and producer, worked with Earthgang a bunch, and has been around, for a while. I at least had a frame of reference to kind of just like, ask some questions. Even if they weren't going to sign me, I felt like I had mentors. You know what I mean? In a way. So I had someone to watch. I had something to watch, study, just in case if it came down to it, cool. Or, if it came to something else, I kind of had an idea of maybe how things go, but it ended up working out. They called me.
Well, yeah, I didn't realize it was 2 years after that party.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Because like the way I heard the story, it was like, boom, he performs the Mimosa back to back, gets on a flight to LA, fucking inks
Signs
the
the
deal.
paper.
No.
I was like, damn, that party must have been lit.
No, it was
like
2 years.
The way I heard it in my head, I was like,
It was 2 years later because
Okay, wow.
In 2018, right after that, in 2018 is when I dropped Smile You're Alive the first time. And then I get on NPR's Artists to Watch list for 2019. And then me and my band go on our own tour.
Yeah.
And then Barry and Z call me again. 2 days after they call me, they fly me to LA, ink the deal, and then everything's all good, and here we are.
Yo, let's talk about the Smile You're Alive, like the fact that it was out for a short period of time.
He said released for the first time.
Then you get signed, and it gets pulled back.
Yep.
How did you feel about that at the time? Were you on board with that?
I guess to be honest, no, because I didn't understand it.
Yeah.
when I went on tour with Earthgang, it was
Shout
still
out Earthgang.
out. Shout out the guys. It was already out. I was performing it, on the road, and then because the plan wasn't for it to be gone for as long as it was. The plan was, while we were on the road, we took it back because we had this bigger platform essentially now. So we just wanted to give it more traction. So we'll re-release it like this
while on tour with them.
While on the road with them. And then it just didn't happen. And then COVID happened. So nothing's happening. So and then that's how Spillville came about. Because right before COVID happened is when I go out there to work with them. And then COVID shuts it down. Then we all get stuck out in that house. Spilligion,
which turned into a blessing.
It's a wild
Spilligion.
timeline. Yeah, that's how Spilligion happened. Or at least that's how it came out, the way it came out.
Spilligion.
Yeah.
I was like, I kept butchering this. I was like,
every
Spilligionian. Like, I don't know. Spilligion.
Spilligion. Yeah.
Like religion.
The timeline
I'm
is
now hearing it.
Yeah.
Yes, Henry.
Yeah, the timeline is crazy.
Welcome to Atlanta hip hop.
There you go.
But no, so tell us about when that tour wrapped and you were how long were you supposed to come down here for those Spilligion sessions?
I was planning only for a week.
Like a week.
Yeah, because my birthday was coming up.
Okay.
And it was the very next week. So I was only, I get the invite to come out. I go down.
So is this March 8th? Or
this is March 13th.
So you fly down March 13th.
Yeah.
So right when it's we're hearing the news about it in China.
People are canceling things. Festivals are getting canceled.
But you're
yeah.
I'm clearly just going to Atlanta for a minute.
Sure. Because it's one of those things that I'm let me now try and be a part of something major. Because before then, I really hadn't been in no big studio sessions. I was really only working on my own music and working with music with the homies. I'm just coming off the tour with Earthgang. That's my first major anything. You know what I mean? So all right, let's see what I can. And the Dreamer sessions just finished. The Revenge of the Dream sessions.
February too.
That just happened. I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken. That just So I never had anything like that. No experience like that. So that was my first one, and I felt safe and comfortable because my brother was down there. So I go
Shout
down.
Out Christo.
Yeah.
Shout out Christo.
I'm thinking it's only gonna be a week for me because I don't know these guys, and when I first get there, it's a lot of people in and out. You know what I'm saying? And next thing you know, COVID's we're shutting this thing down. No travel, no flights, no nothing. So realistically, we had to stop having people come into the house, and whoever was there is we're there, and that's it. Whoever's left is whoever's left, and it was all of us,
the chosen ones, by default.
Yeah. By default, you know what I mean. But
the quarantined ones.
Because I remember when I was down there, I was sleeping on the couch for
was it?
days that I was there.
Paint us the picture of what was this? This was a house. It
was a big.
Kind of paint the picture of what this was.
The house was huge, and it had this.
Just here in the A somewhere, or
I forget which side.
Probably
north.
But
it was
probably north.
It might have been the west. I think it was actually on the west. But it was it was a big house. Had 3 studios in the basement.
Okay.
And that's where we were working primarily. We had a big A room. We had a B room, and then my brother's room had a studio in there, so naturally he took that one.
Yeah.
But there were multiple setups around, but we had those studios, actual studios in there. And for the most part, I had a little bag with me. I had some clothes, and for me, I'm just I'll set up anywhere. I'll take this black leather couch, and that's just gonna be my home for I guess the duration of I'm gonna be here.
How long was it?
It didn't last that long because when we had to move everybody out, basically, kick everybody out, there was a room available, so I took a bedroom. But it turned from that 1 week into 2.5 months.
Shit.
Before travel was allowed to happen again, basically.
Yeah.
Is that how you became Spillage Village? Just by being locked in?
Just by being there.
That's crazy.
Literally. And we're just working on the records every day. I don't know if it was the plan all along for me to join Spillville, but to my knowledge, I think just being there and producing how I did and producing what I did, and I mean, everybody in there is so talented. Like every individual artist in Spillville is really godly.
It's the fucking Avengers, bro.
It is crazy.
But you obviously impressed them too.
I guess so. You know what I mean? And, you know, I enjoyed that entire experience. You know, we're bonding over Michael Jordan's The Last Dance came out during that time.
Ooh, love it.
So like we're bonding over that. We're playing 2K. You know, we're watching. Actually, we were watching Infinity War.
There you go.
We were watching.
Yo, Christo said he's gone on like a MCU.
Yeah. I told
Rampage,
him. Yeah,
like
I gave him. I gave him the
order.
The order.
Of
Yeah, I gave him the order of how you got to watch it.
He's like, bro, I've been watching 2 of these a day. I was like, bro, this sounds like an addiction.
Yo.
Is the order different from when they came out?
Yes.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
I kind of want to get that from
like
you.
to get the timeline of everything.
Yeah.
It is. But I recommend any MCU fan, you should absolutely do that. But if you are an MCU fan, you've probably
Can we put the order in the description down below?
Henry, stop offering up my. He always offers up these like ridiculous edits, or he's like, "Yo, can you make Benji's like hair on fire like for this episode?"
This looks really
I'm
cool.
like, bro,
flames.
I'm
all flames.
barely a novice at Final Cut. Like, relax.
Trying to expand your abilities.
Relax.
There you go. But it was a really good, at least for me, bonding experience with like experienced and successful artists.
Yeah, like what were some of the gems you got from that? Like, are there some things you remember, like conversations you had maybe that like really stuck with you?
I don't think one in particular, but everything that I kind of gained from that experience myself with talking with everybody, working with everybody, was just like, be yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's the only way. Anything works.
Yeah.
You know, and works to the best of its ability. Just be yourself.
Yep.
I remember, I think the very first song I worked on was Psalm Sing. And I'm eating dinner by myself. Everybody's downstairs. I'm eating dinner by myself. They call me down and hand me a bass. And I played that bass line or whatever. But it was just like everybody's sitting in the studio. We're just jamming. Just having a nice old jam session. The words start coming. I actually think some of it was actually recorded or whatever. And, you know, it just felt, to me, it felt like home. Because that's how I was always making music with my friends. Like, we're just in there jamming. And then I'm, picking my head up and realizing who I'm jamming with. And I'm like, oh, this is crazy.
Having that like come to moment, you're like, yo, this is not just me and,
No, this is me and Grammy-nominated, multi-platinum, very accomplished, sellout tour, talented motherfuckers.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with like the people probably you've been jamming with up to this point.
Yeah,
but, like, there
I've
is
never
something
experienced
about,
that
like,
before. Because even like I was on tour with Earthgang, like that still blows my mind.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
man.
that tour was such an amazing experience. My first and only tour bus experience. You know what I'm saying? After me and my band toured in a 13-passenger van with all our equipment in it, from city to city, everywhere we went. Or renting Chevy Equinoxes. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, yeah. What was your favorite stop on that tour? Do you remember?
Burlington, Vermont.
Burlington, Vermont. Shout out Vermont.
So random.
Yeah,
no one's ever shouted you out.
This is your time.
They were the only crowd that I've seen on the road, especially on that tour, that were mosh pitting to slow songs.
Oh wow!
Now, mind you, I was the opener.
The drugs?
I was the opener, like the opener, and first person everyone saw. So like, I did. We performed "Rain," and it's a slow song.
Yeah.
And these guys are
Did not mosh to Rain.
crazy.
Oh my God,
But I was like,
yeah, but that song vibes, bro.
but here's the thing.
Not mosh vibes.
Yeah, probably not. But like,
Here's the thing about that tour. Every city we went, and I opened the entire show. The reception was always the same. It was like wide-eyed, like, who is this guy? Oh, I really like this guy. Oh, this guy's really good. They welcomed me. They loved me. It was some of the videos you would think that was my tour based on how like
that's awesome.
Me and my DJ like had everybody hooked in after a while. Like it was an amazing experience to see that. But when we get to Burlington, Vermont, it was like the 8th show on the road. We like have them way quicker than we anticipated. And not that we were really like anticipating people fucking with us or like that, but it was just, is it going to be like the last time? Is it going to be like, that was kind of how we were. And sure enough, it was. Next, we get to the part where we're like introducing new songs but then I would joke like, y'all don't know who I am anyway, so everything's new.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that would get them all the time.
That's a good one.
Did you have fans though? Like you know what I mean?
A couple. It would be rare.
Was that cool to see like the couple though?
Because it would be rare. Because
like
at the
singing
time,
every word or whatever.
At the time, I had like 12, maybe 2,000 followers on Instagram.
Okay.
And like I wasn't even verified yet either.
Yeah.
So like it was interesting to see somebody in a complete place
Different
that I've never seen or never experienced.
Yeah.
Be like, I listen to your song all the time. I love Mimosa or I love whatever. And I'm like, huh? How?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's so cool.
You know what I mean? And like,
for newer artists, like, you know, once you reach a certain level, it's almost, you know, of course, expected that people are going to be singing your words and like whatever there for you. But like, that's got to feel really cool.
yeah, because we weren't expecting anyone to sing our words whatsoever. We just wanted to introduce ourselves as best as we possibly can and hopefully leave a lasting impression. Because after us, you're listening to Duckworth. Or in the second half of the tour, you're listening to Guap Dad. And then you're listening.
Those are the two options for the different legs.
Wow. Yeah. First half, it was me, then Duckworth, then Earthgang, who everybody came to see. The second half, it was me, then Guap Dad, then Earthgang.
Scam God.
Oh my God. It was nuts. And the fact,
yeah.
it was nuts. Watching both of them perform was
crazy.
Oh my
right?
God, it was amazing. It was so amazing.
Did you see growth in your like, you
Hands
know,
down.
yeah, like followers or
Hands down.
streams or whatever?
You
felt like it was working.
Yeah, I felt like it was working, and I was getting tagged in a bunch of stuff, and a lot of the chatter around me was like, this is the best opener that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And because how many rap shows do you really go to, or how many shows period do you really go to where the opener is that good?
Yeah.
Where it like, you bought a ticket to see who you wanted to see, but you're talking about the first person you saw.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's rare. And for us to be in that position and how it played out for us, you know, like that was amazing to me. And that kind of like let me know that like I got something here that I really need to like buckle down and focus on. Like this is a great indicator of what I can do. This isn't it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So like because of what I was doing up to that point worked like that, I took it upon myself to really up my game and you know, go from there.
Put the battery in your back.
I really did. Because Burlington, going back to Burlington, Vermont.
Shout out Burlington,
I'm telling
Vermont.
you, it was the last song we did. It's an unreleased song I got called Night Rider. And we did it. Every night beforehand, we were doing it. And I think we might have got 2 mosh pits out of it, which is still crazy. But then Burlington, Vermont, we decided, and actually DJ got a case of water with DJ Afterthought, and we decided to just pass out water bottles to everybody. And you know what to do after that.
Yeah.
So everybody unscrews them.
Spraying that shit.
And count to 3, the video is even crazier, but we just have a giant water fight. And it was nuts. Like, I mean, from the front to the back, everybody's going insane. And I can't even rap my lyrics at this point because I'm just so hyped up. Like, wow. Out of breath. I can't believe that worked. I threw my glasses that I just bought into the crowd, never to be seen again. And the sound guy's looking at me like, oh, this guy. Because I definitely soaked all of their equipment.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, it was.
I always wondered about that.
Yeah, oh, no, it was
every time I saw the
like somebody has to clean this up. They're not happy.
Yeah.
They're not happy.
Fans love it, though.
Oh, yeah, it was a great time.
Yeah. So I, you know, you were a musician first, I would say. Yep. Then you started dabbling in, producing, right? You know, you said you were the guy at the table by yourself in college making beats all the time.
Yeah.
And now you're clearly, an artist.
Yeah.
How do those like rank where you're at today, right? Like, are you artist first now? Would you say? Or like,
man.
Or do you still feel like that musician at heart? You know what I mean?
It's a good one.
That's a great question.
He's like, I've never had to answer this before.
Because the order's a little different. I was a musician first, and then I actually started rapping.
Oh, okay.
My very first show.
Yo, is this the Common Courtesy days?
Yeah. Oh, he said it.
Shout out Common Courtesy.
This motherfucker.
Courtesy.
So,
yo, is that like taboo or something?
No, oh man.
It's part of your story,
but
bro.
for the people at home, it
is.
It is your old moniker.
It is my old moniker. I had like 4 of them, but that was the one I really tried to stick with.
that was the second best. Shit.
The rest of them, I promise you, were not even.
I won't say the third and fourth.
Thank you, God. So my first show with the guys, Danny and Zach Albright, who I was rapping with, our first show was opening for Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
I was like 17.
That's hard.
And after that, we opened up for Wu-Tang.
What?
After
Why
that,
are you opening up for rap legends?
because I'm telling. This is the Pittsburgh scene. Because this is how I'll get there. Because the next show after that was even crazier. We opened up for Kid Cudi.
What? The
Man on the Moon
fuck,
2.
dude?
We opened up for that man. Yes, sir.
What?
5,000 people, Station Square Amphitheater. My freshman year of college. It was nuts.
Before you were even really an artist,
Well before, because really at this point I'm like a hype man feature artist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it wasn't even like my set really. It was Zach used to go by Niv. It was his set. And I would be there to hype him up, and then I had verses to do and stuff that as well. Actually, when we did the Kid Cudi show, Ricky P, he's one of Wiz Khalifa's main producers, he was a rapper at the time too. He was performing as well with us.
Okay.
It was a wild time, dude.
Yeah,
it was a real wild
sounds
time.
like it.
And
Yeah, the fucking courtesy days were lit.
they were nuts. They were nuts. But like in Pittsburgh, we had two like main promotion companies, Opus One and Drewski Entertainment, or Drusky. I don't know how they pronounce it. But they would send out email blasts of who's coming into town that needs local acts to open. And first come, first serve. You email back with a link to your music or whatever, and then boom. They didn't there's no way they vetted anybody.
Wow.
Because why are we opening for Kid Cudi? Why are we opening for Big Sean? That happened right after that too.
What?
At Altar Bar.
This
Finally
guy's
famous.
the most legendary opening credits.
Finally famous album. We opened up for Big Sean.
Wow.
At Altar Bar. Promise you.
Damn, man.
Yeah.
Legendary.
It was nuts because, again, why are we allowed to do this? You know what I'm saying? Like if
Who approved
Who approved this?
if you understood like who those artists were at that time.
Oh, it's the biggest of the big.
You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense. Now, a Bone Thugs and Harmony at the time, like
On their way out.
it's like a reunion tour, basically,
Sorry,
right?
Bone Thugs,
Yeah.
but
No, it's legendary. So it's
But-
like, their peak has been reached.
yeah.
Kid
Man on the
fucking
Moon
Cudi.
2? Man
Yeah.
on the Moon 2?
I watched this man perform Rev of Ev in front of my face.
Wow.
Damn.
That was like one of my favorite songs for a little
Yo,
phase for sure.
it was nuts. Like, why were we allowed to do this?
I'm listening to that song on my ride home.
You know what I'm
from-
saying?
from the
Like
studio.
it was nuts, but it was an email blast, first come, first serve, boom, boom, boom. And then me and these guys split up, and when I decided to pursue, or go solo, basically,
Yeah.
that's how I got shows. I would just emailing back a link to my stuff, and then I had some opening gigs of my own. Not anywhere close to that level, but it was just, that's still on my resume. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's wild.
But yeah, it was fucking.
I don't think that's how they do it anymore, right?
I hope
Just
not.
First guy to reply to the email.
I really
wins.
hope.
So
I really
yeah,
hope
so
not.
like back to how are you prioritizing your like musicianship, and the songwriting side of things. We kind of talked about that off camera a little bit.
Yeah.
That you're starting to maybe be open to songwriting opportunities.
Absolutely.
You're obviously a producer.
Yep.
You're an artist. Like how do those? Do you come in and out of those roles very like fluidly,
I
or
think
like how does that work?
Fluid, I would say yeah, because my main focus right now is definitely like being an artist. And I always have my musicianship and production in the bag.
Yeah.
To the point where like I go into sessions, if I'm gonna go into a big session, I really don't feel the need to do anything realistically, because like, and definitely not the need to like try to hop on this song like as an artist. I don't feel the need to write a verse just because there's a bunch of people in the room. Like I don't feel the need to be competitive in that regard. I feel the need to be helpful or available more so, because I can do a bunch of things and someone's always going to need one of the things that I do. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be a rapper. I don't have to sing. I don't even have to engineer realistically. You know what I'm saying? But I don't have to produce a full beat. I could just play a couple keys here and there, or add some drums, or play some bass, or do whatever. So because of that, pull out the Swiss Army knife. Whatever you need, I got you. And if you don't need anything, I can just be an ear. I feel like my ear is very trustworthy.
Yeah.
To that regard too, and to that standard, to where it can be helpful to somebody else. and that's helped me stay in more rooms, and get more calls.
Yeah.
That like not being thirsty to always have to get in a verse or
because
force yourself into something that
because I don't want
to. How it usually is that there's a lot of people doing that.
I mean, it depends because yes and no. Everybody's hungry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody's hungry, and
It's like you don't fault them, but
no, I don't fault them at all because get it how you live, but that's just not my thing.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That's not your approach, I guess.
No, that's not my approach. I don't want that to be my approach because I don't want to find myself where I'm not thinking clearly or find myself in a situation that I didn't want to be in. You know what I mean? Or be a part of something that I shouldn't have been a part of.
Yeah.
So it helped staying back and starting off as a fly on the wall and then interjecting yourself into the room as you go is kind of my approach. But just having my tools in the bag that, I can pull out to be of use to somebody is one of my greatest benefits for sure. But from my, I have a lot of music in the vault, my catalogs that, I can pull out a project yesterday, you know what I mean? And do that, but really focusing on targeting my audience and marketing and how, this really goes. And that's my main.
And fucking getting on the talk.
Yeah.
This guy is
getting on the top.
He's getting on the top.
Follow Benji on TikTok.
Follow Benji. Is it also at
Avatar Benji?
So I meant to ask you this, and we'll head into a final segment here in a second.
Sure.
What is the song that you played probably day in and day out on the bass that Christo finally was like, all right, fuck it, this guy's gonna make it? What was the song?
Seinfeld theme song, man.
Oh, that's the classic bass.
Yo, when I heard that, I was like, yo, that is a tough song to learn on bass.
The Seinfeld theme song was the very first bass line I ever played.
It was the very first one?
First one.
So you challenged yourself right off the bat.
Yeah, because my
easy.
parents, and this is the thing about my house growing up, not the same things, but especially TV shows and sitcoms, my parents were watching the stuff all the time. So all I'm hearing when I'm coming home from practice is and I'm like, okay, this is now in my head.
It's already in your head.
Then my dad buys me a bass for the first time, and I'm like, wait, this is the
one that makes the
shit. Which I later found out that theme song was made on a keyboard.
Wow.
Yeah. It was a keyboard bass.
It was a virtual.
That's a perfect segue, Henry. We have arrived at a final segment of the One More Time podcast. That was a letdown. Hopefully this Rampage will not be a letdown.
This is, if you're not familiar, Benji, this is the rapid fire Rampage.
Oh boy.
Exactly.
That's the reaction we
we should use that as a sound effect. Oh boy.
I got this one.
Bruh.
Yeah, that's good too.
So it's a 3-part Rampage. I'm going to break it down. We're going to just start with the short answers first.
Yeah.
I just got some short answer questions for you.
Sure.
There's no right or wrong answer necessarily, except for no answer, because we do want to see if we can keep it rapid.
Yeah.
We're trying to get the first thing off the top of your head here.
Let's do it.
Kind of thing.
Oh boy.
Here we go. Episode 37 with Benji, Rapid Fire Rampage. Initiate Rampage. If someone wrote a biography about you today, what would the title be?
How?
What is one of your favorite keys?
E flat. Major.
There you go. E flat major.
7.
Oh. What is one of your favorite tempos?
135.
If yellow is right here and blue is over there, where are you?
Green.
You have to delete 3 states. What are they? Montana?
Yo, totally not Vermont.
Definitely not Vermont.
No, definitely not Vermont.
He's protecting Vermont from this.
Eliminate 3 states.
They're not going to die. Like they can.
The people can relocate. Okay.
Okay. Florida.
Yo, Florida.
Good call.
South Dakota, because that's where I got pulled over.
Oh.
Twice in 5 minutes.
Yeah, fuck South Dakota.
Yo, he didn't mention that part.
And oh man, Arkansas. Because what the hell do you do in Arkansas?
Agreed. Benji, what are 3 things we'd find in your fridge right now?
Oat milk, fruit, salmon.
Ooh, nice. If you had to wear the same outfit for the rest of your life, what would you wear?
Can I just say like sweats or?
Sure.
That's part of it.
I would wear.
Need an upper garment.
Need an upper.
I mean, you don't. If you don't want it.
You could be shirtless the rest of your life.
A pea hat, any kind of hoodie, any kind of sweatpants, socks,
no shoes,
slides.
Benji, if we plugged you into the Matrix and you could learn any one skill instantly, what are you picking?
Telepathy.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
No. You know what? A hot dog is a sub.
Ooh.
The bread does not separate.
Ooh.
It's a sub.
Wow. That was a really good answer.
It's philosophical. I've never talked this deep about hot dogs and sandwiches.
Never
in my
thought
life.
about the bread. Not
Think about it, right?
That's a good
Does that
point.
make sense?
Yeah.
No, it's sound logic, Benji.
Yeah,
It's very sound logic.
There we go.
Well, there's 2 more parts to the Rampage.
Let's do it.
Henry, how's he doing?
I would say
let's check in
he's
here.
about middle of the road, kind of average, decent start. I
Not
think
in-
there's room for improvement here on part
Okay.
2.
Let's turn it
Not
up
impressed, Henry?
I mean, I hit the
Not
Jeopardy button a
impressed?
couple times.
Okay.
So,
a notch. Turn it up a notch.
never
It's
good.
only up from here, Benji.
Yeah, it is.
This is the this or that portion of the Rampage. I'm going to
Okay.
give you 2 choices, maybe 3, who knows. And you just pick whichever one stands out more to you as
Perfect.
quickly as you can. Pittsburgh or Atlanta? Starting off hot.
Pittsburgh. Gotta do it.
Lyrics or flow?
Flow.
Vocals or instruments?
Instruments.
Digital or analog?
Analog.
Driving or putting?
Driving.
Funk or soul?
Funk. Damn.
Silly hats or silly socks?
Silly socks.
Drums or flats?
Flats.
And then I did something interesting here. Drums or keys?
So interesting. Yo, when you prefaced it with "this was interesting," I was like, "This better be good," and that did not
Drums.
follow suit.
Different kind of drums.
Drums.
Okay,
That was good.
Thank you.
that was not good. Don't enable him, man.
That was cool.
That was cool. Okay.
It was a cool little thing.
Never again, Henry.
Pen and paper, phone notes, or mental?
Phone notes.
Instagram or TikTok?
Follow me on TikTok, Avatar Benji.
Yo, this guy's on the talk. We're getting him
man.
popping on the talk after this
Smart man.
episode.
Battling against 1 elephant-sized penguin or 50 penguin-sized elephants?
I'll take the 50 penguin-sized elephants.
Yeah, you don't want that giant.
No, I
It'll
don't.
mess you up.
That sounds terrifying.
It sounds terrible.
Yeah.
I don't know. 50 penguin-sized elephants. Kind of crazy too.
Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna be a fight.
It's gonna be a fight.
It's gonna
Either
be a
way.
fight.
It's gonna be a battle.
Yeah.
Invisibility or flying?
Invisibility.
Personal maid or personal chef?
Personal chef.
Hakuna Matata or YOLO?
Hakuna Matata.
Part 2 of the Rampage.
Part 2, much better.
Picked up.
What a wonderful phrase.
What a wonderful phrase.
Cue the Lion King musical here.
Come on.
Yeah, it's much better.
Improvement. Yep.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
There's only one section left, so there's no more like getting there. This is it.
You
now.
cannot take your time here.
No, we're
This
going.
is it. So this last section is the word association.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you one word, just shoot one right back at me.
Got
Simple
it.
as that. No
Oh,
right or wrong.
boy.
Oh, no, this one. Rampage. Here we go. Bass.
Guitar.
Airplane.
B.O.B.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
That's a good one.
song.
He got so many points for that answer.
Nice. Toddler.
Kids.
Cemetery.
Death.
Anxiety.
Hate it.
OnlyFans.
Do what you gotta do.
Lil.
John.
Yeah. Sativa.
Indica.
China.
Trump.
China. YouTube.
TikTok.
This guy's on the top.
Love it.
He is campaigning
Love it.
to pop it
Benji
off
on
on TikTok.
Microphone.
Stage.
Smile.
You're alive.
What a rampage. What an episode. Much better on part 3. But
It was improving the whole time. He was unfamiliar with the platform. He hasn't seen the show yet. I understand, but quick learner. Like, he got every section.
definitely
Having back a second time, I will knock it out the park.
we would be glad to, man.
Yeah,
now, this has been an amazing conversation. I think it'll be, awesome for your fans to, understand your story. There were some hilarious ones. The Montana one still gets me,
Legendary.
man. I didn't realize you got
it.
pulled over twice in 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
That's even better. Really think that the way you've been able to incorporate your musicianship, your production and songwriting into your own artistry. I mean, that's what makes you unique, man.
Thank you.
Really embracing that, which I think you've already continued to do that more.
Thank you.
Like, that's the differentiator for you, I think, because you're obviously super talented, multi-talented, right? And so I'm excited to hear what the next project looks like, because Smile You're Alive,
Oh, man.
thank God it came out, even though it was a
single,
little bit longer than it
we got a single coming up. It's you'll,
Fire.
Yeah, you'll see some snippets from me soon. I'm gonna make some content around it, but we're planning it right now. But it'll be out first quarter. So
Yep.
Have you dropped the name yet? Do we get a One More Time exclusive or what?
nope.
Oh, man.
This episode won't be out for a little bit.
What a tease. No, it's all right. It's all right. Henry's always trying to pressure our guests to do a One More Time exclusive.
It's fine.
Yeah, it'll.
I love you for that, but we respect it. Benji, this has been awesome, man. We appreciate you coming on.
Thank
Henry,
you, guys.
Thank
Henry,
you.
until next week, what are we doing?
Getting out of here.
Getting the fuck out.
Bye-bye.
Peace.
Pop that shit like one more time. They pop that one more time. Pop that shit like one more time. They pop that one more time. Hop up in that foreign skirt, no. All the homie, this shit trippin' off. Middle finger to the law.